Move the Sticks is on the air, and today we're at the halfway mark of the NFL season. Who are our true Elite Eight teams through 9 weeks? We're holding a draft. How about it? In just a bit. And teams aren't alone in our midseason breakdown. We're handing out awards for MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and the best of the best rookies so far. Plus, we're not forgetting those first-year signal callers. What our midterm grades look like for the likes of Lawrence, Wilson, Fields, Jones, and Lance. You find out right now. Let's get it rolling on another Monday. Welcome to Move the Sticks, presented by Grifols Plasma Donation Centers. I'm Rhett Lewis here with our former NFL scouts, our lead draft analyst, Daniel Jeremiah, Bucky Brooks. And I don't know about you guys, but Week 9 worked out exactly how I drew it up.
Oh, I had all these games. Yeah, don't check the picks, but trust me, I got them all.
Yeah. We don't need to go check the receipts, but we are going to get into the drama and the chaos that was your Week 9 Sunday. And let's kick it off with our big three, like we usually do here on a Move the Sticks Monday. We'll start right next door at SoFi. How about a little bit of a stunner here? Not necessarily in the result, but in the way in which it happened. Off the jump for the Rams. Interceptions on back-to-back throws from Matthew Stafford, resulting in 14 early points for the Titans. You got a consistently dominant presence up front for the Tennessee Titans, pressuring Matthew Stafford. And how about an Adrian Peterson touchdown, everybody, in what was a 28-16 Titans win. Titans now the top seed in the AFC. And Bucky, I mean, they basically dominated physically in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike Vrabel had his guys opting for physicality over finesse. They beat the L.A. Rams up from beginning to end, and they wanted to make it a heavyweight fight, and they did that. Body blow after body blow. They did a great job of getting after Matthew Stafford, and when you're able to get after the quarterback, it really sets the tone for the rest of your defense. This defense is one that you look at them and you wonder who are the star players, but man, they get after it as a group, and the way that they come and they finish tackles, it changes the way other opponents play.
I want to give John Robinson some love because as a general manager, you're tasked not with just looking at tomorrow, but looking out into the future. Yep. And the draft in 2019, the selection of Jeffrey Simmons, who was coming off of an ACL, if you remember at that point in time, you're going to miss the first 6 games. But he saw through that. This is my scouting report on Jeffrey Simmons when he was coming out. You see the words we just highlighted here, just how explosive he is. He's got big-time upper torque. You see the comp that I made down there was Fletcher Cox. So he's coming off of an ACL. He's going to miss 6 games, but it was just a clean ACL. He's going to be fine. And, man, the payoff has come in a big way for the Titans. They could not block him. The Rams had no solution for him in this ball game. He dominated, absolutely dominated the football game.
I mean, it would have been a top 10 pick if not for the ACL, right?
Absolutely.
Had that kind of talent.
So teams passed on him because of, 6 games.
Yeah.
You didn't get 6 games his rookie year. Well, I think it's John Robinson, tip of the cap. Nicely done.
Yeah, and is, I guess, trying to do that again with Caleb Farley, who
you got to be patient on that one.
Yeah, let's see what happens there. But I really think that we should give the Titans some credit. Their current crew of defensive backs. I mean, Kevin Byers right now is playing at the best safety in football. Tease ahead to our awards, our midseason awards here in just a little bit. You're going to hear Kevin Byers' name again, but I want to go back to some of the other DBs that they've drafted recently. Amani Hooker made a huge stop in this game, a real physical presence there. Elijah Molden is a rookie in the 3rd round, has done really, really good work here for this team as well.
Hey, Buck, I know that we're not the college football playoff, right? But if you look at resumes, nobody has a better resume than what Tennessee Titans have right now.
No, absolutely. You talk about a team that has beat up the Buffalo Bills.
A bunch of playoff teams, come one, come all.
And they've done it all in similar fashion. They beat them up, they take them to the deep end, and most people can't survive. And so I think this is a recipe for a team that can do this in the playoffs. This is going to be a hard matchup for a bunch of teams.
No question. And it does feel like, though, that the Rams are going to figure this out. That this is not necessarily an indictment on the Rams, but more of a coronation of the Titans.
2 Ps, right? Penalties, got to clean up the penalties, and then
really
pass protection. Those are the 2 areas.
Yeah. We'll see if the Rams can get that cleaned up. Let's move on to game number 2 here in our Big 3, and we head to M&T Bank Stadium. Vikings and Ravens. How about the first downs here in this game? 36 for the Ravens to just 13 for the Vikings. Twice as many, amplified in the second half. Ravens made their comeback. 2 drives that totaled 28 plays, ate up 16 minutes, and resulted in 2 touchdowns. Vikings did force OT, but Ravens get a Tucker field goal to win it, and they're now 2-1 in overtime games. 34-31, the final. And Bucky, look, for the Ravens, it comes down to Lamar Jackson and Justin Tucker.
I mean, it does. It really comes down to those guys. Those guys can dominate in their own right. And Lamar Jackson, you basically have what no one wants to say, but I'll say this. You have QB1 and RB1 for the Baltimore Ravens. He is a guy that can get you 200, maybe 300 passing yards while also giving you 100 yards on the ground. That is really impossible to stop when he's going the way that he's been going the last few weeks. And then Justin Tucker is just automatic. Anytime they're able to get the ball over and on the other side of the field, the 40-yard line, it's an automatic 3 points. For a play caller like Greg Roman, that has to be empowering to know once I hit a certain line on the field, we're guaranteed 3 points. They can stick with the run. And in overtime, we saw once they got to the 50, it was run, 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 run. Justin Tucker, kick it. Let's go get it.
Big stop by the Ravens defense after that interception from Anthony Barr in overtime. Vikings went 3 and out in OT. The rest was history with Tucker making the field goal to win it. And, you know, kind of looking at this, if Lamar is QB1 and RB1.
There's a job opening.
There is, at wide receiver number 1, and it feels like Marquise Brown is really filling out that role.
Yeah, he was awesome in this game, 9 for 116, and really he does it with the speed that you have to respect. And when you have to respect the speed, then you can hit the quick screens like you see right here. Watch what he does after the catch. He had about 3 or 4 of those in this game. And then you press him vertically, he can run comebacks and curls. He reminded me so much of Deshaun Jackson when he was coming out of Cal. So, thought those things when Marquise Brown was coming out of Oklahoma, and now you're seeing that player emerge. He's on pace for a big-time season there. You see it, the numbers he's on pace for, outstanding. He's the number 1 wide receiver. Put that to bed.
Yeah, no question. But here's the thing that kind of baffles me for the Vikings is they have a pair of number 1 wide receivers in Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. They got one of the best running backs, if not the best in all of football, in Dalvin Cook. And Kirk Cousins has been playing really well. But at times this season, they have gone quiet on offense. They jumped out to a 14-3 lead in this game, and then now this was skewed a little bit by
the kick return
for a touchdown to open the second half.
Your defense has to get off the field.
Yeah.
Well, but here's the thing. Negative plays on their first 2 drives of the second half is what killed this team because they went dormant in the second half on offense. Their first drive of the second half had 3 penalties for 25 yards. Second drive, they opened the possession with an 8-yard loss on first down. It's hard to overcome those things on offense. And then, you know, you'd like to see your defense not give up an 18-play drive here at some point. And that's essentially
if you're into that.
If you're into that sort of
if you're into that stops.
Okay. Let's get into the Packers and Chiefs as game number 3 here for us. No Aaron Rodgers and, well, not a lot of love for Jordan in his stead against the Chiefs. Pressured the second-year quarterback in his first start early and often. Chiefs did just enough on the offensive side to get the 13-7 victory on a day where they put up just 237 total yards. What? For context, Patrick Mahomes himself has thrown for 237 in the first half 7 times in his career. And they just put up 237 total, but still get the win. So that's great. We'll get to Patrick Mahomes in a second. But let's start here, DJ, with what we saw from Jordan Love, who was blitzed a bunch in this game.
Yeah, they heated him up. And when you watch this game, to me, I don't lay this all at the feet of Jordan Love. First start on the road, Kansas City. It wasn't just the fact they were sending blitzers. There were physical beats with the offensive line, getting beat in matchups. There were mental busts on the offensive line, turning guys loose. And then when you look down the field, I didn't think they really did a ton to help him down the field. They might have tried 5 or 6 screens in this game. They couldn't connect on any of them. The timing was all wonky. Now, Buck, he still falls off some throws. There's still some mechanical things you're going to work through. It's his first start. I know some people want to make him dead and buried, and he's not going to be a good NFL player. Let's just back off that a little bit. I didn't think they supported him very well in this game.
Yeah, what's weird was they've had a year and some change to get ready for Jordan Love to make a debut. And the plan that we saw featured none of the stuff that we thought that we would see. Movement passes, bootlegs. Yeah, we saw some screens, but not enough. Slow screens and those things to slow down the opponent. But I am not discouraged by Jordan Love, but he certainly has some work to do. I think I'm more disappointed in Matt LaFleur and the lack of confidence that he had in the young quarterback leading up to this point. He never gave him a full endorsement, and because of that, I think Jordan Love was shaky just because he knows the guy on the other side, that's on the sideline, doesn't necessarily fully believe that he can get them to the winner's circle.
LaFleur owned up to that a little bit as well in terms of maybe not putting him in the best possible spot to succeed all night long at Arrowhead against the Chiefs here. I keep coming back to this thing, like, Chiefs offense, like it's so hard to pinpoint, right? It's just, it does not feel the same. It's not the same.
Hold on. just go back the previous 5 shows.
Just re-cue this?
And just re-cue it. Just rack it and then re-cue it, because we have this conversation every single week on here.
Here's what I want to focus on this week. The deep ball. The deep ball non-existent for the Chiefs. 0 for 5 was Patrick Mahomes on deep throws in this game. And it's one thing to pass up completions when you are executing these deep throws to Tyreek Hill, and he's splitting double coverage. I mean, Mahomes had Travis Kelce just sitting there wide open 20 yards downfield and threw it to Tyreek, who had 2 guys on him. And then there were some plays where you expect him to find Hill, and he overthrew him a couple of times. They misfired on a back shoulder. Seemed like they weren't on the same page. Right now he's turning down some of those easier.
He's predetermining.
He's
just predetermining where he's going to go. You can see it when you watch it. He takes a snap. He knows where he wants to go with the football, no matter what coverage dictates. So that's a problem. You got to react to what you see. I don't think Patrick's doing that right now.
Here's the thing that maybe is a sign of things to come, or something that you can hope to build on if you're the Chiefs. That 3rd and 10 at the end of the game, that was Patrick Mahomes' football. Absolutely manipulating the pocket, getting out, beating the rush, and then finding an open wide out on a scramble that basically iced the game. Like, that's what we're used to seeing. It just hasn't happened that often this year for the Chiefs. Okay, more to come here on this Move the Sticks Monday, presented by Grifols Plasma Donation Centers. When we come back, who are the top 8 teams through 9 weeks? We are drafting our Elite 8 in just a bit. But first, what was the key to the Browns busting up the Bengals? And how did Denver dominate Dallas? We're going to take you to the tape for those upset specials right after this timeout. Each week during the NFL season, we will release 3 episodes of the Move the Six podcast. And coming up this week, DJ releasing his mid-season rookie rankings. Do not miss it. Use your phone to scan the QR code and subscribe on iHeart, Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Well, one of the big matchups of the weekend, the battle for Ohio and the Browns absolutely blowing out the Bengals on the road. 41-16 win, and look at them basically doubling their points per game output. And the big plays were big in this game as well. 2 more than their average through the first 8 weeks, and they did not turn it over. And DJ, as we kick off our stop and watch segment here, taking a look at the tape from a couple of these matchups, people want to talk about this being, the Browns without OBJ, right? But no, this was not about missing one player. It was about identifying the best unit on their team.
And no doubt, Red. And that unit is this offensive line, especially the interior of this offensive line. I think it's the best guard combo in the NFL. I want to show you a couple plays here of Wyatt Teller. Here's the guard here. He's going to be pulling up and getting to the linebacker here in Wilson. And what that's going to do is it's going to give an opportunity here for Chubb, who's a 230-pound back, who's legit low 4.4 speed. You're going to get him on an undersized safety here in Jesse Bates. And, Buck, when you can get him to the third level, watch the puller here. He's going to wipe out 55. Bam. He's got him taken care of. And now we're one-on-one with the safety. Just shove him to the side a little bit. You end up getting a big explosive run. I want to show you one more example here of what they do. Again, Wyatt Teller, again, he's going to come around. He's going to get up here to Jesse Bates. You can just see the feet of the safety. You're going to end up getting Chubb one-on-one with him again. So you're getting your big, powerful, explosive back to that third level. You see here, he's going to put Jesse Bates on the ground. Boom, he's dumped. And now we get the safety, just a little shoulder shrug. He's gone. And now you see the breakaway speed here with Nick Chubb. So you've got a run game that can give you chunk plays. A lot of times the NFL right now, we think chunk plays, explosives, all to the passing game. The Browns get that done on the ground.
They do get it done. And it's not only the chunk plays, it's the overall total of dealing with the physicality and toughness that you have to deal with the Browns. This is who they are. They beat you up at the line of scrimmage.
This is what made them one of the better offenses in football down the stretch last season and into the playoffs. 137 yards on 14 carries for Nick Chubb. Had another ground game getting off on Week 9 Sunday. It was the Denver Broncos in Arlington against the Cowboys here. Take a look at what the Cowboys have done, though, so far this season at home. 3-0, averaging over 40 points a game and rushing for over 200 yards per game. Look at the difference against Denver in this one. Put up just 16 points, didn't score till the 55-minute mark of this game. And Denver absolutely dominated. They stopped the Cowboys on all 4 of their 4th down attempts here, Bucky. But then they were able to control the game. How'd they do it?
Red, there's a such thing as saying that your best defense is a good offense. The Denver Broncos really utilized that theory against the Cowboys. Here we're going to see running game. Javonte Williams, 2nd-round pick. What you want to do ideally is get him one-on-one on the safety. That means the guys up front are doing a great job. See a little off-tackle play. Javonte Williams gets it. Nice seal at the point of attack. We got an alley, but more importantly, we have him one-on-one with the safety, able to get it done. Gets through the hole. Now it's about finishing the run the right way. No going out of bounds. Make sure you engage the safety. Make them make tackles all day long. Here, taking to the next level, the next play. Now we have Trevon Diggs, Defensive Player of the Year candidate. He has been picking off everything. You want to utilize his aggressiveness against him. Tim Patrick at the top is going to run a double move. Here should be a big play if this safety is not able to get over the top.
What's the safety doing here,
Safety's
by the way?
right here. He should be gone. Look, Teddy Bridgewater saying, I'm throwing it over this side. This guy has to be over here. He doesn't get there. So this ends up being a big play for the Denver Broncos. Touchdown, bad angles, got a nosy defender, leads to the kind of touchdown that Denver Broncos want to go up 13-0 and dictate the terms to the Cowboys.
I like seeing Jerry Jeudy back in this offense. Now you're starting to see all these young pieces come together. This is an exciting group. Teddy Bridgewater plays like that. The Broncos are going to be in this thing coming down the stretch.
Defense with timely stops. The offense controls the clock. They put up over 41 minutes in time of possession, which means the Cowboys limited to under 19. Lowest we've seen thus far this season heading into Monday Night Football tonight. All right, still to come on this Move the Sticks Monday. How about a special look at our Elite Eight? It's not quite draft season yet, but we have a draft. Top 8 teams in the league through the midway point of the season, and we're all drafting them when we come back after this.
believe it? It's already mid-season, and it's been crazy. Hey.
We halfway through and gotta acknowledge big plays for big reasons. Lots of moments, so let's address the awards for mid-season. Matt Stafford instantly got hot right after him leaving. Now the Lions can't get a win, that's how you get even. Brady headed back to New England. He proved nobody's better. Got the win against his old squad and set the passing record. Aaron Rodgers' performance against the Bears was bravo. Threw the winning touchdown and said, I own you, Chicago. That Ravens versus Kansas City game was real showmanship. On fourth down, the coach asking Lamar, you want to go for this? Or how about Justin Tucker's record breaker in the Lions den? 66-yard field goal off the post and bouncing in. Green Bay been balling. Thursday night was no exception. Gave the Cardinals their first loss with a game-ending interception. So many teams, so many weapons, they just got to step up and own it. And those they did gave us the league's greatest mid-season moments. Hey, let's go.
All right, back here on the Move the Sticks Monday, time for our Elite Eight. And different spin on it this week. We are going to essentially give you our top 8 power rankings, but we're going to do it in draft order. So we're all picking, and Bucky, I guess apparently based on last year's performance, you have drawn the first overall selection here. So for the top team in football right now, you get the pick. What do you got?
This is easy. The Arizona Cardinals are number 1. They have the best record. Cliff Kingsbury should be the front runner for Coach of the Year based on the job that this team has been doing. They are getting after. They're able to do it a variety of different ways. Explosive offense, dynamic defense. The quarterback is playing at an MVP level. So for me, it's all about the Arizona Cardinals.
All right, pick number 2, Deej.
All right, I'm jumping in here. I'm going to go with the defending champs. I'm going to go Tampa Bay. I just look, Tom Brady, the way he's playing, to me, is there's no deterioration whatsoever in his ability. And then you look at the defense and the way they can get after the quarterback, all the playmakers they have on offense. You see the 6-2 record right there. I thought there was a chance they might try and ease and coast through this season. They have not done that. I just know they are built. Once you get to the postseason, this team's built for it. I'll stick with the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Yeah, run game has been pretty good this year.
Fournette's been great.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch. So there's a lot to like about Tampa, no question. But you guys are leaving me the hottest team in football here with the 3rd pick. Give me the Tennessee Titans right now, riding the 5-game win streak after last night's win over the Tennessee Titans over the Rams on Sunday Night Football. So the Titans are the best big game team in football. They have won the biggest games against the toughest teams in consecutive weeks. Buffalo, Kansas City, tough division matchup against the Colts, and then last night against the Rams. The Tennessee Titans are a force to be reckoned with, and they did it last night without their best player, Derrick Henry. I am all in on the coach who should actually be the coach of the year, Bucky, and that is Mike Vrabel.
Well, Mike Vrabel should certainly be in contention for it, but Cliff Kingsbury knocked him off, so he can't get it over
right.
that.
That's back in week 1.
So there you go.
That doesn't
knock
count.
him off. That all
right.
counts.
Who's number 4?
Okay, so I know they had a hiccup yesterday, but I'm going to go with
Buffalo. You're going Buffalo.
Dallas Cowboys.
Oh.
The Dallas Cowboys. America's team deserves to be in the top 5. When you look at the way this team performs and the potential, I know throughout all the other stuff that happened against the Broncos, this offense is number 1. They can get it done running or through the air. They have 2 number 1 receivers. Dak Prescott was playing at a very high level. The offensive line is rounding back into form, and defensively they get enough stops to win games. Ignore what your eyes told you in week 9. Let's focus on the other weeks. The Cowboys should be a top 5 team.
Wait, take out all the bad stuff.
Hold on 1 second. Oh, Javonte Williams just broke another tackle. I think he just broke another tackle.
All right, so number 5, the pick is yours.
You guys are sitting down, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is probably a good thing because this one is I'm going off of my evaluation of the talent on the roster.
Oh, man.
Put the record to the side.
A lot of prefacing.
There's people who are not going to like this.
A lot of excuses.
I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, my goodness.
You just took Leatherwood in the first round. You just took Tavon Wilson in the second round.
You just messed up
I will
the draft.
stack up this roster player for player against anybody in the NFL right now. Now, Baker Mayfield is not up there with those elite level quarterbacks. I don't necessarily think he has to be when they're healthy. This group has not been healthy. Jack Conklin's still out. J.O.K., the outstanding rookie out of Notre Dame, was a phenomenal player. He hasn't been out there. You saw with Denzel Ward what he can do with Newsome on the corners. They're going to have the defensive player of the year in Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
So we get into the postseason. We've got the best offensive line. We've got 2 big-time backs. We've got a closer in Myles Garrett to finish games. So I'll get all out of heat for this, for having them this high. But I'm telling you right now, nobody's going to want to see the Cleveland Browns once you get in the postseason. I'm telling you, nobody's going to want any part of that.
I mean, 5-4. That's
what I said. They've had injuries. I saw it.
5-4 in the top 5.
I know.
Bucky, I mean, like, we're not calling Baker Mayfield a top 5 quarterback right now, are we? For a team that is in the top 5?
Oh, we absolutely not.
No, I already mentioned that. He's not. They're not a quarterback-driven team.
There's a team. They're a team. That's why they don't have any logos on the helmets. They're just a team that just run out.
That's it.
Out.
So let's revisit that. Mark that. We'll revisit in like 3 or 4 weeks. I'm going to look really stupid or really smart.
Yeah.
We'll see. Fingers crossed.
Yes. I don't know.
Yeah, fingers crossed for me on the different end. Okay, I will pick the 6th best team in football right now, and I'm going with the LA Rams. I think that, like I was mentioning when we were talking about this game at the top of the show, this was more of a coronation of the Titans, who, by the way, I put at number 3, just so you guys are remembering here. And then it is an indictment on the Rams. I think the Rams figured this thing out.
That
guy. Interesting developments on his future in the NFL now with the Vegas Raiders. But Matthew Stafford was off last night. He was off, and they struggled handling interior pressure. I mean, like, rarely does someone upstage Aaron Donald in the interior pressure department. Jeffrey Simmons did that last night for the Tennessee Titans. I think in that kind of matchup again, Sean McVay and the Rams figure out a better plan to attack a defense like that, and I think the Rams will get back on track.
Well, I mean, I like the Rams. I like the Rams a lot. I like the way they're able to kind of move the football. Matthew Stafford is playing really good football as a quarterback. But I'm going to go next at number 7. I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens, because we've talked about earlier, Lamar Jackson, Justin Tucker, those guys are 2 of the best at their respective positions based on how they do what they do. And then I'm talking about a defense that can really mess up the game for the opponent. They muddy it up with the pressures, the blitzing, the constant changing of the skies. And even though the personnel is not up to Ravens standards, they still find a way to get it done. And so a team that is more explosive and dynamic on offense to help that defense, yeah, sign me up. The Baltimore Ravens at 7.
All right, so I got the last pick here. I thought about going with a little bit of the homer pick. I call the Charger games. They were very much in the mix for me here, but they have a negative point differential, and I just don't need all that smoke right now. So they're coming off a big win, but I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers. You guys left me with Aaron Rodgers when he's healthy and out on the football field. That's a different football team than the one we just saw against the Kansas City Chiefs. So that's a one-loss team with 12 at quarterback. They've got some pass rush. They can heat you up a little bit. So those are the components I look for when you're looking at what you can do in the postseason. So I'll take the Packers. I mean, it's probably the best value pick in this entire draft right here.
It really is. And while we aren't putting the entire loss on Jordan Love to the Chiefs this week, if Aaron Rodgers is in there,
they would have taken advantage of some opportunities that presented themselves with that game plan.
Okay, so a noticeable absence from the top 8 teams in football right now as you get a look at what we have here. We started with the Cardinals. We get the defending champs in there. You get the hottest team in football in the Titans. I think 4 through 8 is in flux.
I think you can add a couple more teams,
you certainly could.
And you can shake them up.
Which is why I noticed that we are missing the Buffalo Bills here, who at times have been considered the best team in football, best team in the AFC.
Bucky, you've got a theory on that.
What do you got?
They lost to the Jags.
They did.
They lost to the Jaguars. They were a heavy favorite. They were 14-point favorites, and they lost to the Jaguars.
You had me at hello. You had me at lost to Jags. That was it.
So is that a fatal flaw? Is there a fatal flaw in there for this team? Or is this a team that's going to figure it out?
I don't know. They subbed the toe a few times. And I think with this team,
I think in the opener.
Yeah, I think with this team, this is a team that plays really well as a group. I don't know if their talent is overwhelming, so they always got to bring their A game. What we saw against the Jaguars, when they're off the mark, man, they can go down like anybody else. And so this, to me, is a little scary. A little scary.
And Josh Allen admitted it. This was not his best game. Sean McDermott said, looking at 17, the turnovers that he had jumped off the page for me in this game. He doesn't turn the ball over like that. They at least win a close one, it feels like, against the Jaguars. I still think they're too good to not be one of the top teams in football right now.
You know what this exercise has shown us? Just shake it up. I mean, we don't know. This is a week-to-week league right now. There is so much parity. The Arizona Cardinals, I'm with you, Buck. I think they've kind of separated themselves at this point in time. Outside of that, the next 10, 11 teams, I don't know there's much difference between them.
Well, how about the Chiefs, who if the playoffs started today would not be there?
But they're still hanging around in that division.
Then the next team, and then the Bengals, who 2 weeks ago were the top seed in the AFC. They're 10th right now in the
parity,
conference.
Man.
That's how ridiculous it is. I mean, you got like 10 teams that are sitting there with 5 wins in the AFC. Good thing there's still another 9 weeks left to go in this NFL season. All
What
right,
about the Raiders, too? I mean, the Raiders are sitting there.
Well, you just dropped one of the Giants.
Yeah, but they're still 5-3.
Like
So,
but they
don't even come up in the discussion.
They do. And we've got a lot more to discuss on this Monday edition of Move the Sticks when we come back. Most likely to succeed, biggest flirt, and teacher's pet. That's how we're describing some of the 2021 rookie quarterbacks. What that means and our midterm grades right after this timeout.
Byers deep downfield.
Trevor Lawrence does it himself.
Trevor Lawrence throws an absolute thing of beauty.
Wilson looking end zone wide open. Touchdown.
Zach Wilson making a highlight play.
Trey Lance will take the snap from Alex Mack. Throw down the right sideline, wide open. Deebo Samuel. Touchdown 49ers.
Snap back to Justin Fields. Now throwing tight over the middle. Cut. Touchdown Bears.
Jones fires down the middle for Bourne. Makes the catch. Goodbye.
What poise by the kid.
Report cards here on Move the Sticks. Just 2 rookies in the saddle so far here in week 9. We'll get Justin Fields tonight for the Bears. But Bucky, you gave Trevor Lawrence a B- against the Bills.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence wasn't asked to do much in this game because defense did all the heavy lifting. But Trevor Lawrence did a great job of really showing his management skills and his toughness. He comes off the field in the game, has a little ankle injury, goes into the back, comes back, has to do wind sprints in front of Urban Meyer to get back onto the game. And then what he does is he just manages the game to make sure that the Jaguars were able to get to the winner's circle. So because of his efforts, I give him a B-.
Yeah, I gave Mac Jones a B. Patriots get the win on the road against the Panthers here. The interception was a really tough one in the first half. It was a timing route, it was a rub route, and essentially his intended receiver got rubbed off by the DB. So that was a tough one there because he threw it on time. And then, look, he only threw 5 passes in the second half, only completed 1 of them. That was a little bit off. But he continues to do his job. He continues to find the open guy.
I want to take classes like your classes.
Yeah. The fumble never happened, by the way. Brett didn't see that part.
Yeah, because the left tackle never got over to get Brian Burns. So you get one of the best edge rushers a free lane, and he's going to take it every time. Okay, with that, then, let's get to our mid-season report cards. Putting it all together here for the grades at the halfway point. Let's start, Bucky, with Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence has been everything that the Jaguars have wanted in a franchise quarterback. He has been very, very solid in terms of his leadership ability. His performance has been fairly solid. And so because of that, I'm going to give him a nice B. A nice B. He's teacher pet. He's everything. He's the representation. He represents the franchise. He's like waving at the fans, talking to the fans. He's doing everything. Trevor Lawrence, teacher's pet. He certainly gets a sticker on his notebook.
Okay, so let's get then to Zach Wilson, DJ, who's a little bit of an incomplete, I guess, right?
Yeah, look, to me, I gave him a C- for his efforts here. It's been a little bit up and down, and if we're going to give those awards like they do in the yearbook, by the way, this wouldn't come from a teacher because this would be probably inappropriate, but I label him as the biggest flirt because he's flirted with some big-time performance. You saw it in the win that they had against the Tennessee Titans, but it's been inconsistent. The way I would say it is he's done well in some calculus classes, but yet he's not doing great in art. So you got to take the easy ones. You got to be a little bit better at the boring stuff, as they like to say.
Okay, I'm with you on that, and that's where Mac Jones has excelled in his time with the New England Patriots. And through these first 9 weeks, what do you think my grade is?
Oh, he's an A.
Give him the A, baby! He has by far been the best, most productive, most efficient quarterback so far out of every single one that was drafted, certainly out of the 5 that were drafted in the first round. And I am telling you right now, he is the most likely to succeed as it sits, as the teams are constructed, and with their potential moving forward. Mac Jones will win a Super Bowl with the Patriots.
Whoa!
Or any of the other quarterbacks do with their current team.
We're hot taking.
Whoa.
That's
hot
just,
take.
Somebody turned the AC on in here.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I'll heat it up a little bit. I got no problem with that.
Wow.
Guy finds the open guy better than anybody, processes better than anybody, and he does what the Patriots ask him to do.
And I'm fine with that, but
I'm not saying he's going to win it this year.
No,
I'm just saying he's going to win it before the other four guys.
Based on that clip, when it goes viral, it's going to say Red Lewis predicts Patriots go to the Super Bowl behind Mac Jones.
Put it right here under my face, okay?
Wow.
Mac Jones right now will win a Super Bowl before the other 4 rookie quarterbacks.
Now we got these.
I don't even think it's that hot of a take.
Contingencies. I feel like it's one of those.
I think when you use those 2 words together, Super Bowl.
Oh, is that too much for you?
It may be a little early.
A little early.
Just a smidge.
Again, I'm not saying he's going to win it right now. I'm just saying he's going to win one before the other guys. That's all.
Let's see. All right, do I get another one here?
Please.
All right, Justin Fields. Let's look at his report card. From somebody that you saw get better, which is why I'm going to give him a Most Improved award here. And the grade, it's a C because there's some ugly football early in the season. You think back to that Browns game where he got sacked 94 times. But just getting the ball out a little bit quicker. You saw him use his legs more. And the last time we saw him out in the field with a 100-yard rushing game, I want to see more of that going forward. But look, I don't know who all is going to be a part of his future there in Chicago, but I am gaining more confidence that this is going to work out for Justin Fields and the Bears.
I like that. See, I mean, that's fair. I think there's definitely been some improvement, certainly from the way they had him play in that first game that he started. Okay, Bucky, we got to come back to you on another one that we've had a very limited sample size on, and that's Trey Lance and the Niners.
Yeah, Trey Lance. This one hurts me. It hurts my heart. So I'm going to give him a bit of a heartbreaker sticker because I'm hurt because I thought when the Niners moved up to take him at number 3, I thought he was going to give them a different dynamic, different dimension to their offense. I'm going to give him a C because the times that we've seen him on the field, he's been okay. He hasn't been spectacular. He's flashed a little bit, but not consistently enough. And so he's a heartbreaker. He's a heartbreaker because he's left us wanting more. I want more from Trey Lance, and I haven't gotten that.
I just don't know how I feel about the Valentine sticker on the report card. You know, I feel like we're really bringing a lot of different worlds in together here.
Yeah. It would be
but
a little weird.
that's when you would do all the Valentine's Day stuff.
Those little hearts. Those little hearts.
Yeah, the little chalky hearts. Yeah.
I feel like that fits the Justin Fields category, too, the heartbreaker. Because, like, Chicago fans, I mean, especially one in our control room here on this show, has just been like, hey, we're going, oh, my God, we got Justin Fields. And essentially, we just have not received that level of production to match that level of enthusiasm just yet, but it could be coming. Okay. A lot more to get to here on this Monday edition of Move the Sticks, presented by Grifols Plasma Donation Centers. When we come back, let's hit the red carpet, shall we? A little red carpet event, throwing on the tuxes, rolling it out, working on the acceptance speeches, our midseason NFL awards coming up. All right, back here with you on Move the Sticks. Reminder that in addition to this episode, 2 more coming this week. So 3 episodes weekly of the Move the Sticks podcast. DJ's got his top rookies at the halfway point coming out a bit later this week. Go ahead and scan that QR code with the camera app on your smartphone. You can download the latest Move the Sticks episodes. Never miss one. Right here with us on MTS. Okay, time now for Scout Stories presented by Grifols Plasma Donation Centers. And guys, we want to hand out some awards here in the midseason. You got your top rookies coming out. We're going to get to some top rookies here, but let's start here with our defensive rookie of the year. Bucky, who fits that mold for you?
Oh, this has to be Micah Parsons for the Dallas Cowboys. Micah Parsons has been very impressive as a do-it-all playmaker for the Cowboys at the second level, whether it's traditional linebacker, whether it's put your hand in the dirt, play defensive end and get after the passer, whether it's being a sideline-to-sideline player who sometimes takes on the tight end. He has been able to do a lot, and because of that, he has energized this defense, and the defense is playing better as a result.
I just posted a play on Twitter this morning of just how twitchy and explosive he is as a rusher. He has range against the run. There's no other answer to me. I think it's got to be Micah Parsons. I'm with you on that, Buck.
Guys, my guy is not going
to take Micah Parsons?
Well, I should. But since you've already given us Micah Parsons, Nate Hobbs is not going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Good player.
But he's something for the Raiders to feel good about in a secondary that's had some busts at draft picks. I mean, as Tom Pelissero telling us, they're going to release the first 2020 first-round pick. Damon Arnett is gone. And so, Meek Robertson was inactive in this game for Vegas. I mean, they've needed some wins at DB, and I think Nate Hobbs has given them something to feel good about, especially in that nickel role.
Yeah, I like that. Good honorable mention there. But you would take Parsons if you had.
I would 100% take Parsons. I'd probably take Greg Newsome, too, with the way he's been playing on the defensive side of the ball for the Browns. But let's get to the offensive Rookie of the Year. And, DJ, this one seems like a slam dunk for your LA Chargers.
Yeah, Rashawn Slater's been awesome. I mean, he hasn't been a good rookie left tackle. He's been a great left tackle, period.
Yep.
Like one of the top 3 or 4 already in the NFL. And just watch him last week against the Philadelphia Eagles. They can run behind him. He's got knockoff power in the pass game. His anchor is instant. I mean, he just absorbs power, and it is over. So for a team that had been searching for a guy just like this for a decade, they've got him here in Rashawn Slater.
Guys, I'm going to give you one in the same division, although it came in the second round. Javonte Williams for the Denver Broncos. He's your 3rd leading rusher right now amongst rookies, but he's only 3 yards out of second place. And, he just broke another tackle. A couple of segments ago. He has 36 missed tackles forced. That is tied for first with Nick Chubb. So, again, he is going to be one of the best running backs in football in a matter of time. And he's been doing this in a backfield share situation with Melvin Gordon. Very impressed with Javonte Williams.
I am very impressed with Javonte Williams because he
Where
is
do you
a
go to
Tar
school
Heel.
again?
He's a Tar Heel.
Okay.
He's a Tar Heel, and we wear nice uniforms, and he's done well. But this is the running back that I'm excited about. Nadia Harris has really been the workhorse in this backfield. It's not a coincidence that the Steelers have played better as his role has increased, not only as a runner between the tackles, but catching the ball on the perimeter. He has been the best playmaker that they have in the backfield since Le'Veon Bell. As a result, they are beginning to play like the Steelers of old.
A bit more on Najee Harris and the Pittsburgh Steelers coming up here in just a bit on Move the Sticks as we give you a little Monday Night Football preview, final game of Week 9, Steelers and the Bears. But let's now get to Defensive Player of the Year in general here at the midseason point. What do you got, Buck?
Oh, I think this has to be Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs is just
even after this last week.
Yeah, even after this last week, because it's about turnovers. It's about putting the ball in the paint. Look, I played a long time ago, and people used to say they don't worry about the ones that you give up. If you can produce enough, they go in the other way. He's produced enough that we know that he is going to be on the highlight. Look at all those highlights right there. Trayvon Diggs right there. That's enough for him to get the trophy as it is. Don't worry about some of the bad moments. All about the good, greater flashes.
The best defensive player in the NFL is Myles Garrett. He's played the best. He's the best player. He's got the most production.
Yep.
Period, exclamation point, end of story. There's no debate. This should be a unanimous defensive player of the year.
5-14.
He's not. It's not a team award. He's the best defensive player in the NFL.
Yeah.
Period.
I think you're right, and I think he will win it. He
But,
would win it
but
right
let me
now.
guess, you're not going to pick him.
Well, no, I'm not going to pick him because I want to give you some variety.
Okay.
And with that, I'm going to give you the best safety in football right now, and that's Kevin Byard. I alluded to it earlier this season. He's come up with some huge plays for Tennessee, including that one right there to seal the deal for the Titans in Indy. And how about this one? A pick-6, first of his career. He's got 5 picks this year. You want to talk about turnover production? Kevin Byard is leading the way. And I'll just tell you this. Elijah Molden, after that win against the Colts, said Kevin Byard was telling them what was going to happen in the secondary when they were playing the Colts as that game went on. He is that dialed in. He is that kind of preparation, and he's got the production to match it as well.
What we got next? Keep it moving here.
MVP, man. We got the MVP.
Can I go first?
Please.
Yeah, Tom Brady. Give me Tom Brady.
Okay, Mr. Low-hanging fruit over here.
Well, he's having an unbelievable season. You look at what he's done with the touchdown in the touchdown department, carrying this team, all the pressure. Got to repeat, no problem. Tom Brady. I'll go with the GOAT here.
Man, we're already giving out.
By the way, did you realize that Red did not take Mac Jones for offensive rookie there? That just settled in. By the way.
I am
but
surprised.
Go ahead.
I am surprised. Oh, then I'm gonna go with Kyler Murray. Talk about the quarterback on the best team in football. Kyler Murray up there. Terrific passer rating, 17 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions. Didn't play. They still were able to whoop the San Francisco 49ers, but that's not an indictment on Tyler Murray's role and contribution to the offense. It just says how good the Arizona Cardinals are.
Okay, guys, you want another one?
Oh, no.
You want another one that's not going to win MVP,
From obscurity.
but should be? My man, Cooper Kupp.
There we go.
Went over 1,000 yards already in this last game. 9 games, he's over 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. He and 1990 Jerry Rice are the only players to go for over 1,000 receiving yards and 10-plus touchdowns in their team's first 9 games.
I know what this is. Look,
he's going to be off. He's going to be
anyone who wants an MVP award in the future, they need to get on path to the draft to make sure they call in every week and talk to Rhett, because Rhett has a tendency to lean towards those guys, because Cooper Kupp was one of our guys, right?
Well, I'm not giving it to Mason Rudolph
Cooper
right
Kupp.
now, okay?
Cooper Kupp.
You're telling me there's been a player more productive in football right now than Cooper Kupp?
I've got nothing negative to say on this one. I can't. Cooper's have an unbelievable
He's been terrific.
And look, the offensive player of the year has more often than not become the second place MVP vote, and that or the
it's the award the running backs allowed to win.
It's the non-quarterback MVP, and that's Cooper Kupp this year, especially now that Derrick Henry is out, at least for the remainder of the regular season. So
So to summarize, Rhett doesn't believe any of his picks, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, you guys took the low-hanging fruit. I had to think outside the box here a little bit. All right, when we come back, we got 1 game left here, Week 9. It's the Bears and it's the Steelers. What to look forward to in this matchup when we come back.
touchdown.
Josh Allen got Josh Allen. And Josh Allen throws an interception to Josh Allen.
Cordero Patterson comes through again. James Conner with his 3rd touchdown of the day. Travis Kelce, touchdown! He's in the end zone! Donald Parham just told Darius Slade, get off of me. Intercepted by J.C. Jackson, goodbye. Pick 6, Denzel Ward is back! My heavens! 99 yards. Xavier McKinney with his first career pick 6. Defensive player of the month for October. Starts November with a bang. Touchdown, Titans.
God, we had a string of pick sixes on Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, with
Mike Keith is
Byers.
the best, by the way, with the Titans.
Titans. Love it. Love it, for sure. The Rams did not love it next door at SoFi Stadium last night. Okay, we do have one more game left here on Monday night. It's the Steelers and the Bears. You had Justin Fields in our midseason rookie report cards, and, well, you gave him a C, right?
Yep.
So what do you want to see from him tonight against really big challenge in Pittsburgh's defense?
Decisive. Whatever decision you're going to make it quickly. Get the ball out of your hands. If you want to take off and run, make that decision early in the down. I think the longer the play extends, the worse it gets for the Bears in this matchup, Buck.
Yeah, I think this is a tough matchup for Justin Fields because the Pittsburgh Steelers are beginning to look like the Steelers of old. Defense is playing well. And if I'm Justin Fields, one thing, keep an eye on number 90. Number 90 is always lurking, and when he lurks, he has a tomahawk with him because the ball has a tendency to come out. So keep an eye on T.J. Watt.
Guys, Khalil Herbert has been a really nice player for the Bears as a rookie this year, and he's had to be because David Montgomery's been hurt. Montgomery's back tonight, activated off IR to play tonight, according to Ian Rappaport. How do they still find a role for Herbert and, use what Montgomery's been so good at?
Well, I think you can make this almost a 50-50 split. I think he's done enough. Herbert's done enough to earn those touches. So they want to shorten this game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They want to take heat off your quarterback. There's enough carries to go around.
No, certainly enough. And Herbert has been fantastic. But this is somewhere where someone on the defense for the Bears has to step up and make a play because the Steelers are beginning to play better on offense as well.
Yeah, that's right. Nadia Harris was Bucky Brooks's midseason offensive rookie of the year. See if he has a big performance tonight on Monday Night Football. Thanks so much for being with us here on Move the Sticks. We're back with you on Monday. 2 more episodes this week of the podcast.